1000, I have the very talented animator Elsa Garagarza coming back one more time in this form of the show, I should say. The last time in this form of the show, actually, because the next time, hopefully, we do this, will be in person.
Yes, yes, wouldn't that be amazing? Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hi. So everybody knows Elsa, when she came on the show initially, folks, uh, her first gig was Avatar: The Last Airbender, which still blows my mind to this day. It's like that's a cool start to a career,
Me
and now
too.
yeah, and now she's done stuff for DC. She's doing things. We'll just say things for Marvel right now. And how you been?
I've been good. I've been good. I can't complain. I've been. Um, uh, it's been. I've been busy, so that's great. My kids are 8 and 10, so it's a very fun moment when they're. I can see their personalities, and then uh, uh, balancing, helping them out. Plus, my work, which I love, has been. I think it gives me a sense of big purpose, and I really enjoy what I do. I enjoy art, I enjoy comics, I enjoy cartoons, so, and I enjoy superheroes. So
I have a soft spot for cartoons. I still do at this age. Like
yes,
I still have in the house for the moment anyway. I got most of my mangas back in storage, most of my
mangas.
videos. So what I've been into for the last little bit has been Spy X Family.
Okay, okay.
Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, and I need to. My daughter, the best part of having older kids is that I get to watch the shows with them because I'm just as a fan as they are, and I haven't watched Spy X Family. It's yeah, we're.
I read the manga, so I read the
Oh,
manga primarily. It it makes me laugh so
I
hard.
like doing both things, the manga
Oh
and the anime show, because I think I'm like, of course, obviously, the original is the manga, so I would prefer to check the manga first before I check the animes, but sometimes that doesn't happen.
no, for me, like when I did Full Metal Alchemist, I actually watched the show first before I got the manga, and it was interesting because looking back on the show, right? Especially the first show. The second show is different. The second show was the manga was finished, so you knew what they were going to do there. But
What they were doing, yes.
the first show was coming out while the manga was being created. So there's a point in that show where it kind of diverts all on its own, and I still am very. It's to me it's fascinating because it went nowhere I expected it to go to. Like it did, right? But they did their best with what they had to stay true to the show's tone and
Hmm.
feeling. They
Hmm.
didn't have a story to go with because she was still creating the story, right? And but what she had was really good, and they no they did like I said they did for what they had they did a great job. But yeah,
Great.
like the manga is always if I can find it is that's usually the one I'll go to first because
Yes.
that's the artist's original vision. Also, we are of the era that when the animes came out, there was a lot of filler in some of these shows.
Yes. Hmm. Hmm. I'm
Not all
looking
that
at you,
stuff.
Naruto. I'm looking at
Yeah.
you.
Yes, Naruto has a ton. So did Bleach. So did
Yes.
Fairy Tail. Right, and it's like I looked at them. It's like I like you, but I don't like you.
I don't like the. It's like, it's not. Yeah, yeah. There's something to be said about the fillers. It's like I kind of like don't want to. I just want to go to the meat.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they surprise you. Like Fairy Tale did a couple really nice stories in the between. Even Bleach, not all the filler was terrible either, right? Some of it was really terrible. I'm
But
not
I'm
gonna
still
lie.
looking at you, Naruto, because most of your fillers were complete fillers. It was
Yeah,
just
you're like nothing progressed here. But
nothing progress. It was just how do you say? It was just like peanuts that you put in packing peanuts. It was just packing peanuts. That's what it was.
well, here's the thing. If you're going to do filler, and I get it, like some of that is the artist can only go as fast as they can go, and sometimes you
Mhm.
get to the point where they don't have the new material done yet, and you gotta let them finish at least the story before you do that story. Because once you do that story, then you can once you have the story, you can work on that. But you hope that there's something real and pervasive with it, and yeah, sometimes it just doesn't
It's
have it.
It's a filler. Yeah, I don't want to be. I mean, I'm not a writer, so I'm being like terrible. Like, I'm being so hard on Naruto because I actually do love Naruto. I loved it, and I actually did as much as I'm complaining. I watched all the fillers because I'm like, I still gotta watch it because I still gotta see it. I'm still,
that's your
yeah,
that's your
yeah, that's
bad
me.
choice.
So that's
Yeah,
why I'm complaining because there was like a long stretch, and it was obviously a long stretch because the manga was getting published. So I understand all that, but I was like hoping it's like, please don't let me down. And then I was like, okay, it's a little boring, but I'm still looking at trying to find something like the characters, or there
oh
was
yeah.
this episode where Rockuli had to eat some the episode the broccoli episode with the it was a stew. What was it? It was curry. It was curry. I think it was, and I was like, that was the one that I found
It's a,
the most endearing.
okay.
endearing.
So
So,
my favorite fairy tale filler was the zombie apocalypse version of the zombie apocalypse. They did
that's
a
fun.
yeah, their version of it was they had this one character who basically uses his powers come from his aromas and perfumes.
That's good.
He accidentally created a perfume that makes everybody a copy of him.
Oh,
Right. So
interesting.
that was their version of the zombie apocalypse. So everybody was looking and acting like him, and if they smelled the perfume, that was it. They were done. They
That's
became
fun.
done. Yeah.
That's a fun idea. That's a really fun idea. I gotta look into it. I haven't seen that show either, so I
You
gotta
never
check
seen
it.
Fairy Tale?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I'm behind on all the stuff that I
No, no,
really
no,
want to
no.
do.
I'm behind on all the stuff too. Like I barely watch television. Like I barely watch it. Like it's how do I put this? This is going to sound really mean because there are some I think there's a lot of good things in the art form, but I don't have like if I do sit down and watch something, it's an hour. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot to do. When you're busy, you're busy. So it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I don't watch as much as I would like to. I don't keep up with as all the shows as I would love to. And I do love TV, but I don't have time to. I want to sit at time like a couple 2 hour. I mean, a couple 2 hours, like 2 or 3 hours to enjoy. Maybe binge two, three, or maybe four
Yeah,
episodes,
no,
depending. I love that. So I never have time for that.
yeah, I want to finish binge watching season 3 of The Boys. I made it to season 3 and I
Okay.
had to stop. And then I have so in my house right now for shows on. I still have DVDs. I'm old, I know, but this is so
Good. No, no, I do. I have DVDs too.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
have Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and
Oh, good one.
Fringe.
Ooh, ooh.
Fringe because I have it. I have all 5 volumes. I've never seen it in its entirety. I would like to take the time while I'm still here to watch because once I go on the road, like I
Yes.
realize this, I'm not like I'm going to have downtime like that because there's going to be a lot of downtime when you're driving in the middle of nowhere. But at the same time, I'm probably going to be hiking. I'm probably going to
That's
be
perfect.
doing things. Or in the event I have like downtime, it'll be a Steam Deck or a Switch. I haven't decided which one I'm going to get.
Hmm.
So I prefer video games to television because it feels like my mind's still being stimulated in a
Yeah.
good way when I play a game because I think video games have this really cool ability to like give people a sense of accomplishment. And I think in a world where everybody's concerned about their mental health, I realize like the biggest two things you can give people are purpose and confidence. Now sometimes
Hmm.
you can't always
Hmm.
go out and do the things you want to do, but playing a game, figuring something out and accomplishing something in the even concept of a game
Yes.
is decent therapy. And I'm so you teaching people how to
Yeah.
solve their own problems, teaching people how to overcome things, right? Teaching people to do
Yes.
right. I mean that's where I'm at with them. Like I prefer that's why I prefer the video game concept versus say television. Television, don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, there are some performances on television
Yeah.
that are amazing, but and I say this because I have friends that act, do movies and stuff like that too, and honestly, I know how much work goes into making a film.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It's truly a labor of love, and seeing the end product of some of those things is truly an amazing thing. And I think people fail to realize how much of a modern miracle that is. Right? How much of a modern miracle that is, but at the same time, I don't get that same feeling of I can get some emotional investment. Like I look at say I just stumbled onto the Stranger Things finale. And I could say I could see why people really popped with that, because that is a truly badass moment.
That was big. That was big. And I have to say that I skipped a lot of episodes, but I did get to see the finale.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was very monumental. It had a lot of
you can see all the characters had evolved from where they
yes, yeah,
started,
yeah.
and the final battle in that season was in one way better than I could imagine, because he spent so much time in like their psychic realm.
Yeah.
That the fact that he had to actually fight in the physical world against just ordinary human beings, and he got his ass kicked. I'm spoiling things. I'm not.
I think it was a very satisfying finale for
Yes.
all the time that people spent watching it and invested on it. Yeah, it was a very good finale. I did jump cut to certain bits and pieces because I'm like, I don't have time to watch it, but I do want to know what it's about. So I cheated. I watched like a review of plot points, and I'm good with it. I'm good with that one.
Yeah, that's just it, right? Like it's like we're I'm not gonna say I'm too old to get sucked into a show. I'm definitely if it's good, if it's good, I'm in it.
We love stories.
Yeah,
It's part of our nature hearing stories. So yeah.
a good story will definitely get you thinking about it. But it really has to be good, or else I'm just
Oh
not.
yeah, because there's so much to do that time is valuable. So if you can, although I say that, but I still stick around to see if I'm like if I'm not liking something, I'm still watching it. Like I'm still analyzing it and going through with it. Most of the stuff I will finish watching things, but yeah, it's there's a lot of content out there. A lot of content.
I've learned the art of cutting. If I don't feel something from it, I cut it.
Good.
I've learned the art of I've mastered the art of this. It's
Good.
like, am I feeling nothing out of this?
Yeah.
Yes, then I don't even bother.
Then you don't continue. I have stopped watching stuff too. Sometimes I'm like, oh well, but I'm checking the cinematography, or I'm checking, the lighting, and then I will stay, but because of the visual.
But you're also researching, right? Because in one sense, it's part of your craft. You're looking
yes.
at what, like sometimes an idea could be poorly executed for a lot of reasons. It's not necessarily even the fault of anybody on stage. It could be budget. It could be there's a lot that can happen there. But the thing is, right? The thing is, when you're watching it from a point of view of, okay, what did they do well? Because you can learn from mistakes, right? And
I like doing that.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? So with what you do, okay, you have the benefit that you're drawing, you're putting the things together in pieces. But for you, it's about visualizing the story and how you want to tell it.
Yes,
right?
yes. It's a visual, and finding the right angle, the right lighting, the right. Well, I'm not lighting too much sometimes because I will go to the art department for a lot of times. But but I still try to get into the discipline of knowing how to light my work. There's not always time to do that, and if I'm working on a television show, there's not always time to add lighting, but there's always moments where you can hint lighting. But yeah, I try to get as many disciplines as I can while I'm working, so I'm fresh on editing, on timing, on lighting, while I'm storyboarding. Plus, and the acting. Ooh, show me. Oh, nice.
So I'll tell you where I failed, and I'll tell you where I succeeded. I think I did a really good job with the dragon. Right?
I love the twirling around. I do like the composition of how the head is like right here in the lower third.
Yep. Well, yeah, because that's I play Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Right? I play Commander. So to those people wondering, this is Jinji the Midnight Spirit. That's what I tried to copy. So the part I did well, I thought, was the composition of the dragon himself.
That's the thing and then you had I do like that the head is like on the third, if you on the lower third to the right. It's so it's, and then you have like all the tail, like or the rest of the body.
It's almost look like he's. But the thing is, here's where I fail. I'll show this to everybody again. So the thing is, I don't have a lot of layers of black. I have one black pencil crayon. So I had this idea. It's like, what is it, like, because he has like these little purple flowers throughout this scene. It's like, so this was a failure. I wanted to create like a night sky kind of feeling with the flowers and stuff like that, right? Based on what I saw. But I only had one layer of black. So I tried do a light black and put a little purple, like matching the colors of him. I realized, like, I think I created more like a forest scene here than a sky scene, right?
Oh, no. I do feel that it's vapory. I just think that it's because you have only one tool and it's the same one color that you have. That it's you're relying only on pressure. But I do think that it's like a moving sky, like a stormy sky.
Because I wasn't sure. Like I almost felt like it was. When I looked at it after hindsight, it's like almost looks like he's in the grass somewhere.
No. If anything, maybe it would look like rushing water more than grassy. But I do see that you're doing like it's like a stormy sky that's flowing into a direction. It's kind of like hatching. It's you're doing a hatching effect. So the only thing is that you only have one value of the same color. You would need maybe different values.
This actually taught me the value of having like different and I know, again, things I learn as I go, the different value of different like colors. So you can do, like you said, shading definitely adds depth to a picture. And I've learned this with my style. It's like color adds something to it.
Oh yeah.
Right, but
you would need different hardness of pencils. You would need like a very dark, and then a harder, lighter, and a darker, softer, and then you can lay.
Yeah, or even if I use like pencil crayon kind of thing.
Oh, good. Yes.
Which is what I did. Yeah, fuse them, right? Fuse them a little bit, and it's like, but that was a learning experience, right? So I learned some things. I tried some things, right? Failure. I feel like I didn't quite get the sky the way I wanted it to, right? And that's just my own personal thing. I didn't quite get what I wanted out of that, but I did okay on the dragon. You could kind of tell that there's if you look close, right, there's some little layers and shapes. I'm like, compared to where I was a few years ago, I've gotten confident.
I think composition. I think if you're, obviously, craftsmanship, like quality of line. I myself had to reteach myself because my heart was getting like super, like death grippy. So I had to, like, last year reteach myself to like soften my hand because I couldn't. You cannot draw anything if you're crushing the pencil or the stylus, then you think you're drawing, but you're like, I cannot draw lines because your hand is just like completely death gripping. So it's composition and always watching that your hand is relaxed and soft. So I think those two things are the things that I'm like, if I'm gonna do anything, check my hand, that my hand is not killing whatever I'm drawing with. And also, maybe the drawing is not perfect, maybe I didn't get the character completely on model, but was my composition good? Because that'll save it, in my opinion.
So I did kind of want to draw to you a little bit tonight. That was okay.
Yes.
But here was the challenge. You can't talk about anything you're doing right now. Totally understand that.
Yeah.
But in your past work, the stuff that you have done, this is always an evil question to ask an artist. What was your favorite?
Well, I do have to say, the Avatar world has been my favorite.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Has been my favorite. And let me think, because I've been on many projects and and there's always something that I don't want to sound like give a Pollyanna answer, but there's always something that I learned from every project. And I like to have that attitude when I go into a new project, saying, okay, whether I'm passionate, whether the story is as passionate to me as this or another. I mean, some are more interesting than others, but what can I learn from here? So let me see. Avatar obviously is I love the world. I also love the show. Oh my god, I really love working on Justice League Action from when I was in Warner Brothers. I did a lot of work for Warner Brothers, and Justice League Action was just so much fun because it was a fun. It was a comedy action show, and I just had a blast doing those. Everything was goofy, and the characters were always, even as serious as Batman was, he had his. There were
Oh,
punchlines.
sure.
It was so much fun. I think that's one of my favorite experiences.
So who's your
And
so who's your favorite character in there to play with?
oh well, what happened there was that they gave me Buster, Buster Gold,
Oh,
Booster
they gave
Gold,
you
Buster,
Booster
Buster.
Gold? Oh my God.
I got Booster Gold, and it was I'm right now. What's his? Hold on. Let me. Because I'm talking on a camera, I am getting nervous and I forget. Hold on, let me see the
Yeah, no, it's
actor.
okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's seriously, Elsa. It's just me. You don't have to we don't have to get this all right. Booster Gold.
JLA actor. I love having like the computer right here. Oh yeah, Diedrich Bader is the voice of Booster Gold. So in Justice League Action, so Diedrich Bader, who was he was Batman in Batman: The Brave and the Bold, and he was just so much fun. He was so funny, and he was like, I don't know, that the man was genius because I did see a recording session, and every single time that he gave alternate lines, it was perfect, as if he was reading the line, but he was like, well, I mean, he was reading the line, but then he was adding
Oh my God.
jokes, and it was just so perfect the way he was. Everything was funny. Everything he did was funny, and I just I enjoyed it so much. And Butch, my producer, uh, thought I was doing such a good work with the character that I got episodes where Booster on that show where Booster was appearing. So it was like I was in the Booster show inside Justice League Action. So I have to say that he was my favorite character there because he was just so funny, so quirky, so zany.
Oh, he is the ultimate so one of my favorite runs with Booster Gold was the series 52
Mm.
comic series.
I gotta
They,
check it out because actually I didn't know the character before that, and then I got to know about him. Him being the time portal. What was his position? What was he was in command of the time continuums. It was just so funny. And there was
yeah,
an episode where he called all his buddies from other dimensions, and they were just like, making jokes, and they were finishing each other's jokes on the episode. Just so funny.
oh yeah, because he knows himself so well, and that's
Yeah.
just like, and the thing is, it's like, so the way they tried to do it in the comics, it was he ended up becoming a kind of like a time cop,
Time
right?
cop.
But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like a time cop for lack of a better term. And what ended up happening was uh, he uh, he started out as a joke. He wanted to go back in time to just make a quick buck, right? Because
Yes. Because he
that was the
was.
whole thing about
Yeah.
him, right? But somewhere along the way, he actually became a real hero, and there was a lot more depth to him than a lot of people realized. And so Booster in 52 is secretly the hero of the story,
Hmm.
right? He's secretly, and his robot was the villain, but not in the way you
Oh.
think. They actually did a very clever thing with that. And
Oh.
Booster stayed one step ahead of Jeeves the whole time because Jeeves it wasn't quite himself either. He was being messed with, but they were after a very specific event during that year. It was a year where there was no Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman, and all the other heroes had to kind of pick up the slack. And in that year, Booster somehow actually became a genuinely amazing hero. So he wasn't quite the butt of the joke, but he would disguise himself as the butt of the joke.
The bottom of the
Yeah,
yeah.
he would disguise it. Now he was in on it. Like when he first showed up, he was just a clown, and everybody knew it.
Yes, yeah.
Right. But along the way, he realized what was important to him. He still played the butt of the joke. I mean, he's Booster Gold. He's always going to be a little bit of that
He
guy.
owned it. He knew. Yeah, he owned it. He knew that was part of his one of his facades. So though he did, even in the show, there was a moment when he did learn a little bit of it, because he had the 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 making a buck on the side, and it was getting him in trouble with Batman on the show, when he was trying to do all those things, and then in the end he ended up learning, a lesson. But he owned the fact that people were like, "Oh, come on, Booster!" So that was so fun. That was a fun.
So I'm going to share something with you real quick.
Shane?
So that's what I'm going to try to draw.
All right.
That's what I'm going to try to do.
All right. That's a good one. I love Booster. Let me hold on. Let me pull it up. I should draw my. Let me get a Booster too. So let's draw Booster.
We're doing Booster Gold tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, another show that I really loved was Batman the Animated Series. I'm sorry, Batman. No. I didn't work on that one. Sorry. It was Green Lantern the Animated Series. Remember, we had a conversation on that one.
Me and you. So the new comic book's hilarious. The new one that they just launched?
I haven't checked it. I'm terrible.
Okay, so Hal Jordan is now a fish out of water. They turned him into a fish out of water. It's funny. It is so goddamn funny. Right? And I was like, okay, this book could actually be, because like we've talked about this in the past. The big thing with Hal is, from a personality standpoint, he's difficult to keep that going, but as is, the first issue made me laugh so hard. Like, Hal is like trying to be what he always does, and it doesn't work in today's world anymore. So it's funny to me.
Exactly. Yes. I can totally see that.
Yeah.
So, let me see. What else? Oh my God.
Now, folks, I just gotta say straight up, right? Straight up. If you want an excellent version of Booster Gold, you should definitely check out Elsa's work on him, because it's really good. I've actually just watching what you've done here, right? You did a really good job. I can tell you had a lot of fun with him.
That show, the Booster Gold episodes on that show, I think most of them I ended up boarding. So yeah, if you wanna enjoy a really funny episode with zany Booster Gold, check Justice League Action those.
Yeah,
because they captured him very well. Some of the other characters were made funnier, because the show was funny and zany. But Booster was just perfect. He was perfect in his personality.
You don't have to change him very much to have him be a funny douche.
Exactly. Yeah, he was like quirky, and he knows it. And even though people may not take him seriously, he's used to that, and he's like, he knows what he's doing.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes he's like, he stretches it, and if he lands it, great. If not, he's like, oops, okay, I gotta rethink this. That's true.
Yeah, he definitely has his moments, for sure. Right?
There was one of the episodes he was doing Watchtower. It's called Watchtower Tours. Watch that one, because he's trying to when all the other heroes are out, he's in charge of watching over the Watchtower, and he's trying to make Watchtower tours. So to make a buck, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's really funny.
But I'm like, he totally would do that,
because obviously it goes super wrong, and in the end it's like, we don't need to tell Batman, but Batman sorry, in the end. Anyway, Batman is the one who's always like
but someone's got to be the adult.
Exactly. He's the one. How do you call it? Because in Spanish we call it the person who gives you we call it coscorrones, when your grandma used to with your knuckle, gives you a knuckle on the head to sit down. Yeah.
You need to stop that now. He's like, I don't want to stop
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
And
like
you're like, no, you need to stop because
oh,
you're.
and the Batman was Conway,
Oh, really?
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, Conroy. Oh my God, I'm getting everybody almost on the ballpark. Yeah, yeah, it's Conroy, Kevin Conroy, that Batman. So
that's. Well, I you got. Did you ever get to talk to him?
yes, I was. I can't talk to because I went to the booth to watch Diedrich, and I got to watch a record session before that, and Kevin Conroy was there, and I just geek out really badly because I mean he's awesome, and I didn't expect him to be in the couch waiting, and then he got up to say hi to me, and I was like, hey, hello, hi, I don't even know what I said. I said, I'm Elsa, very nice to meet you, love your work, and he was just so graceful.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, as much as he definitely, I'm not saying he had not like he played a big role in making himself like who he
Mm-hmm.
is, but I mean the looks. I mean, animators do a lot of heavy lifting, right?
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, you're trying to do the honor the acting and capture the essence of
Yeah,
the acting. Well, me, I'm a board artist. I'm not an animator, but in the boards, you need to try to capture the acting and the beats of the character, the soul of the character there, and then the animators will continue doing the job,
yeah, exactly.
their amazing job. Um, I would love to. I would love to animate one day, but maybe some other time. Right now I'm really busy with family and work, but I would love to learn to like do some animation, or practice animation, storyboarding with a with the software with Toon Boom. It helps a lot because you can time things, so you get a better sense of animation with the timing. but um but that is not my job, so my job is to stage things.
Which is important in its own right.
It's
So,
yeah, 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 it's the job. I'm figuring out a hand here. I'm trying to.
so I'm trying to do booster justice myself here.
Yeah,
So
I
now,
might end up doing a collage of many
no,
boosters. So
hey, that's
let me show you my, because I'm doing it digitally this time, so let
yeah,
me. La 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 la, sorry, there's the treadmill,
no worries.
and so ooh, there we
Oh
go.
wow,
So I'm sketching him out. Hold on. Right, left. So that's what I'm doing. Da da da.
that's awesome. That's
There's the treadmill again.
that's unique. Yeah, it's a little too thin. We'll go to 0.3.
All right, so I'm just gonna sketch many of them and then finesse out. He's such a cool dude.
He's a fun character. He's just super fun. Yeah.
Any other DC characters that that you know and love?
Oh, I'm a big Green Lantern fan. I love the Legion of Superheroes. I think
Yes, yes. I remember we had a conversation on.
yeah, I love the Legion. I'm a big fan of Tim Drake Robin. I'm a big fan of him.
Okay.
Uh, I'm not as crazy a Batman fan as some people are,
Mm-hmm.
and I get why Batman's big.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm never going to knock that, but he gets a lot of love.
Yeah, he gets
Uh,
a lot of love. Yeah.
yeah, he gets a lot of love, and I think there are other characters that are. This is interesting. When done well, I think Wonder Woman's amazing.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
I think so
yeah.
too.
When done well. When she's
What?
not done well, it's bad. Like it's there's no middle ground there. She's either really really good or she's really really bad. And I do like me some Superman. I think Superman legitimately could be uh, should be written like he's the coolest dad in the world. That's what he should be.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's what he should be. So let's see
Yeah,
here. I got
he's the embodiment of virtue, you know.
Well, he can be. He can be. My favorite version of him though is when he's in on his own jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right? It's when he's in on his own jokes because he can be a lot of fun, right? When he doesn't
Correct.
try to be cool, he's
Yeah.
actually he's better, right? When he's not trying to be cool, but when they try to make him cool,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
so have you seen Harley Quinn?
No. You know what? I haven't watched the show. Yeah.
Okay, Bane is still my favorite in that show. They found a really hilarious way to make fun of him.
Oh, good. 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 Good.
Hilarious. He still has Tom Hardy's like that voice from the movie.
Oh, that's a good. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, again, I'm not trying to dig what you're working on with
Mhm.
Marvel, but I am curious. Like, did Marvel appeal to you just as something different to do?
No, well, yes. Friends were working. They were a producer, so they. I got a chance to work with good old friends again, and it's been. I did work on a Spider-Man show way back when, like in 2000, right before Quora. It was like 2016, 13, 13, 13, 13, 14, 13, 14. Yes, 2013. I worked for a little bit on a Spider-Man show way back when,
Okay.
and then that's all the Marvel that I've done. So I thought it could be cool to join my good old friends and work on some Marvel properties. So
Yeah.
so I thought that was a good change.
No, hey,
It
listen.
was a good opportunity. But basically, it's working with good friends on good projects is the joy of what I do.
Absolutely. Well, as far as it goes, I think my Booster Gold needs to go on a bit of a diet, bit on a diet, but you did all right. Well, I'll show you in a few more minutes when I'm done coloring them.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my God, this booster is giving me Homelander vibes.
Listen,
I have a second one here. Let me show you. I drew a second one, and for some reason, I think that I'm. Oops, this one. I don't know why, but it's giving me
yeah,
Homelander vibes.
it's the stance. It's the
It's the
stance.
it's the
He's got
the
the how do I
upshot. It's like the heroic upshot, and then looking cool.
it's also just because okay, Booster's naturally a douchebag character, a bit of a douchebag, right? He's a bit of one, right?
I need to. Well, I don't. I see. Since I was in the funny joke show, he's just like a comic relief. I don't know him as a
He
douchebag.
can be a jerk, right? He can be a
Okay.
jerk. So Homelander just is a jerk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that. Yeah, the definition of jerk, and then there's Homelander's picture. Yeah.
Yeah, so he just is a jerk. So I could see the. Although my favorite character in the boys is the Deep. I'm not gonna lie, it's the Deep.
The
Because
deep. Oh, the deep. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, and the reason why is I realize that the Deep is the one character in the show that will never change, and I think it's hilarious.
I
That
think, yeah, and he's like, and you can see him struggling. I mean, I haven't seen the third episode, but he was humbled. He was very humbled. So there's something about when you see somebody going through, hey, this is your humbling moment.
well, the thing is, I think he's not gonna learn anything. I think he's just one of those guys
Sorry.
that is gonna be at the same place when it's over.
Hmm.
That's what I think. I could be wrong, but I just think he's the kind of guy that just you could do anything to that boy, and he's kind of bulletproof in the sense that he'll never learn anything, right? Now, I may be wrong on this, right? I
No,
might be.
I can see it. Well, I mean, I haven't watched the third season, but he was still like, he was still struggling. By the second season, he was still like struggling and finding his learning his lessons, trying to get get a footing on himself and on his situation. So
yeah, so there we go. I think, let's see how I did here. Let's see how I did. I am, yeah. Hold on a sec here.
let's see.
Almost.
All right.
Almost. Wait, hold on a second here. I am the power that is white pencil crayon. Right? The white, it's got pearly white teeth almost. Okay, I'm ready to show you my attempt at Booster Gold.
Great job. I love that smile.
Yes.
Yeah, great job. Nice quads.
Nice quads, but he's got a bit of a belly. He probably had a little too much.
Yeah. Well, maybe he
Maybe-
just a couple weeks of diet, but otherwise those quads, those are the belly goes away fast, but muscles, that's another thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my first attempt at Booster Gold, ladies and gentlemen. I can add Booster Gold to my list of things I've drawn.
He has a fantastic smile.
He does. Well, now I kind of want to see him. There's a SpongeBob moment where the one character just goes through a really embarrassing time, just has this smile of as the world just burns around him. It's just like, yeah, I could totally see Booster in one of those situations. Totally. That was my attempt. So that's not a bad Booster Gold.
That was a great custom. I tell you, those quads.
Yes, the quads. I'm gonna call it quad booster. That's what I'm gonna call this when I post this on Instagram later on today.
You know what's really funny? I tell people that, and whenever I'm having there are days that when I'm stressed out or whatever, I feel that I forget my anatomy. It's what I tell my coworkers. It's like, this is one of those days when, besides having a storyboard artist block, I forgot my anatomy again. I don't know where I left it. That happens to me.
It's somewhere out there. I will get it back. I
get it back, and then it's a fleeting thing. The anatomy thing. It's like, oh gosh. Yeah, don't think that it's like, oh, you can always. For some reason, sometimes I'm like, how do you? What? Where are my quads? Well, you know where they are, but then it's like, it's funny. It's when I'm having block. That's how things happen. My anatomy just decides to not show up.
Well, yeah. Well, it's more than it's just not what you when you draw, when you draw, right? I something I realized with storytelling in general, right? You have how do I put this? You have a desire to. So I'm going to do. Did you ever watch a show called Samurai Jack?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm going to draw next. I'm going to do Samurai Jack.
Good.
I like Samurai Jack. So.
I'm gonna while you do Samurai Jack, I did 3 boosters, and the last one is super nowhere near, but that's my 3rd one. Ta-da!
That's not bad. Like in comparison, I still got a long way to go. But then again, I've been doing it for 3 years, so I look at the fact that where I'm at now is I'm confident. That's I'm confident. I'm not gonna say I'm great, but I'm definitely confident.
It's mileage. And let me do a little bit of lean. So I decided to just sketch away with you, because let's do this.
Why not? So I'm looking at one of my favorite. So my favorite Samurai Jack. I love the final season, but I also love Aku. Him and Aku have this really cool relationship, even though Aku's a terrorizing villain. They have a respect for each other, and you can see it, right? And when they interact with each other, right? So when you look at Aku, he my favorite episode is the one where Aku challenges Jack to a fight. Let's just settle this. You put your sword down. Let's just go man to man. And Jack gives him the conditions. They actually have this no shape-shifting, no powers, right? And you have to be a man.
Yes.
Those were the conditions. And they accepted. And I think my favorite part about this is, like, Jack didn't know what he was talking about. Like, we're gonna meet here. Okay. Aku's like, would you like me to give you a ride? Like, that's just a relationship. Like, it's not really a problem. I don't care, right? You still all right, right? It's like, no, I'll figure it out. Sure, yeah, okay. See you in a week, right? And that episode's one of my favorites too, because you could see Aku tried to follow the rules at first, and then Jack's better than him, and you know it. And I also love the fact that when Aku walks, you can hear the tree the tree he's coming from. You hear it in everything he does, and it's just like, that's amazing. Like, that kind of detail, like, that series is an underrated gem.
I think it is, and I haven't watched it completely. I need to finish that on my list.
The
But yeah,
the
it's
ending's sad. The ending
yeah,
is
I
a
haven't
little
seen it.
sad. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spoil it. The
Mm.
ending is a little sad.
Hmm.
It's perfect. It's really, really, really perfect for the series, but it's a little it's bittersweet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It makes sense, but it's
And
bittersweet.
and by now, I have the theory. My brother and I have the theory that if it's something that has been released, years ago, there's no like, oh, I can't be spoiled because you've
Well,
had a chance to watch it. But but I
no,
appreciate that you're not.
no. Again, you want to watch it. You care about watching it, right? And it's just
Yeah,
you and
yeah.
me. So if that's the case, then I'm going to respect your wish. I'm not going to
Oh,
spoil
thank
it
you. No,
for
no,
you.
because you're an amazing friend. You're an
Yeah,
amazing friend. Well,
I don't. Again, I'm not going to listen. So way back in the day, I still remember when. Do you remember the original Matrix trailer?
yeah.
If you don't,
I
if you
don't.
don't,
I
if you don't,
don't
you
know
know.
if I do. Yeah, I don't know if I do.
Okay, so then it revealed nothing about the movie, really. You just have this one scene where it's like nobody can be told what the Matrix is. You have to
That's
experience,
right.
right?
It's
Right?
ringing a bell. Yeah, that's right.
Right? It
Yeah.
didn't tell you a damn thing. And what ended up happening was I go to the movie with no expectations. Okay,
Yeah.
none. It blows you away. Like when you see it, it's like it blows you
That's
completely.
right. They took really good care of not giving the movie away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They deliberately obscured what the movie was really all about. That was part of the reason it worked,
That's
because
true. Well,
right,
you could, yeah. Even within the movie, it revealed itself. So it was a very bright move to say, go
yeah.
watch it.
So I never forgot what I felt going to that movie theater, right? Never,
True.
right?
True.
So if it's something I really want to watch and I genuinely care, right? I don't want spoilers. I don't even watch trailers. When Star Wars was going through the new series and stuff,
Yeah.
I avoided every trailer, all of them,
Good.
right? And someone went to me, "How did you do that?" It's simple. When someone posted it, I just didn't watch it. I avoided it.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah.
I avoided it because never wanted. If you're going to enjoy a series, if you're legitimately going to enjoy a series, a moment, uh, 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 a concept, and you don't want it to be spoiled, you don't have to have it spoiled. It's not rocket science. Just
Yeah.
don't watch the trailer. But what I find is if a good movie can make you feel something. A good show can make you feel something
Of
without me
course.
knowing a goddamn thing about it,
Of
right?
course.
Right? I don't need to know. I don't need to know. Now, if I'm not 100% sure, I'll watch the trailer. If I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure, I'll watch the trailer. Get a sense of the what I am walking into. But
Yeah.
but that's the only time I watch the trailer. If I'm like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I'm going to see
Yeah.
it eventually, right?
Yeah.
I don't know a damn thing about that movie. The reason why I know I'm going to see it is because I enjoyed the first two so much. I'm going to give the third one a go, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not gonna, right. I don't need to go. So if I already know I'm going to see the movie, why do I need the trailer? Like seriously, like I don't need the trailer. You got me. So I'm going to do the smart thing. which is I'm going to enjoy I'm going to enjoy the movie. I'm going
Good,
to
good.
I'm going to ignore this. I'm going to ignore the surprise. And if somebody and if somebody spoils it, I might knock them out. It's just that because I don't need it. Like I'm not coming into a movie to be like again. If I don't care about like you, I don't care about the movie. I don't care if it's spoiled. Like I don't care. But I don't know what happens. Like for example, on The Boys season 3. I don't know what happens at the end of Boys season 3. I have some theories about it, right? But I'm not like I'm not like tormented by the knowledge of I don't know what's going to happen. No, I don't know and I don't care. I don't care to know until I go watch them until I go watch it. Because really,
I think that going as a blank canvas to watch a movie is the best way to go. It's like,
yes,
let's hear the movie out. You know,
yeah, yeah,
let's hear the movie out.
yeah.
There's opinions and stuff, but it's like let's hear the movie out. And oops, where did my screen go? There we go. When you go like that with that expectation or without expectations, just let me hear the movie out. I find myself
Yeah.
enjoying the time, whether good, bad. I don't know. If you go predispositioned, then it's
You can ruin your own
you
experience.
ruin the experience, and you know I just think it's a smart way to watch a movie. It's like, okay, let's hear the movie out. Let's let it
Yeah,
speak to us.
exactly. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be like, I have concluded that Jack is fun to draw.
Good, good.
I,
He is.
yeah.
The whole universe is fun to draw, I think.
Oh no, he's super well he's a great character. Didn't quite get his chin right, but I think I'm going to leave the flaw in. I have a really bizarre drawing rule, and
Uh huh.
this is
Tell
the
me. Tell me.
it's much like my podcast. I let the mistakes stay in.
Oh, I have a kind of like a rule like that too. I had a sketchbook once that I purposely I wrote at the beginning, said no mistakes. This is just gonna be. I mean, I purposely drew with a pen, and so that there was no like erasing. And later I violated my own rule, but for a while I'm like, there's value in why did you put the line? Then you get like conscientious about like you. I became methodical of where am I gonna lay my lines, because you're used to the control delete all the time. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. I so for me, it's actually it's a much simpler reason. Sometimes, so I had a children's book illustrator come on the show. So she was doing these 5-minute drills for these,
ooh,
like I said,
cool.
you wanted to do. Oh dear God, I got mercilessly annihilated in that. That was okay, right? But the thing was, so we tried to draw Batman, right? So within the
Hmm.
first, I'll say like 10 seconds, okay, I messed his ears up. I only have 5 minutes, right? So I can't spend a lot of time trying to fix it,
Hmm.
right? So like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna make a brand new character now because I've already messed this up, right? So, but I'm like, okay. When it was over, I was like, okay, this wasn't the goal, but at the same time, I came up with like a brand new character,
Yeah.
right? By embracing the accent.
I
And
yeah yeah you sometimes you're like, oh, I see what I did there, and that was sometimes as you say, if you embrace the accent, you're like, oh, I can use that. Maybe that effect didn't work for this, but what about this? I don't know.
yeah, exactly. So I kind of went at it from that perspective, and what I found was, um, yeah, Jack is a super cool character. Definitely, he's fun. He's a lot of fun.
He certainly is. He certainly
Yeah,
is. I gotta go back and revisit that.
yeah. Like I said, no. I'm not gonna spoil it. But it is a bit. It's a bit bittersweet. It's perfect, but it's a bit bittersweet. So, um,
Let me
But
show you. Should I show you what I'm doing right now?
sure, you should show me
Let
what
me
you're
show
doing
you
right
what
now
I'm
as I'm working
doing.
on mine.
So I have like a quick sketch that is totally not in Lynn's character. Hold on. So that's a blue sketch, but I was just like trying to get, hold on, here, like that. But then I'm doing, oops, the draw over with with black lines.
Mhm.
So that's my progress.
Nice.
Normally I do try that's been, that's basically how, how I work with an underdrawing with some color. I love blue and red, as you saw my boosters were on
Yeah,
with
yeah,
red.
yes.
For some reason it works really well when I'm those, I don't know, it's something very funny that a friend and I had, that is like, oh, I feel that when I'm drawing with red or blue, like I draw less conscious. Once we switch to black, then that's more of a clean line. But there's something about certain colors that help me sketch out.
That's cool. No, for me, like I'm just like, all right. I embrace my accents. This illustration for me is an excuse to experiment and not worry about
Yeah,
my final result. Like I said, I don't know about from a quote unquote career perspective.
yeah,
I don't know if I'll ever do it as a full fledged career because it's not. I enjoy it, and I could definitely see myself doing some form of personal comic work with it.
hmm
But I'm a writer first and foremost, and
that's,
that's
yeah.
right. And so for me, it's very it's very, oh wow, this,
It's exploratory
yeah,
and
most of
fun.
it. That,
Exploratory and fun.
yep. And it makes my other creativity stronger.
Yeah.
So well, that's an interesting. I did not notice that about Mr. Jack.
Let's add some color. All right, let me just add a little bit of color. It's a loose drawing. I'm sorry. It's really funny how sometimes I'm talking, and then all of a sudden, I go on high on volume. It's a loose drawing.
It doesn't have to be again, like much like with me. It doesn't have to be like this. Can just be you having fun,
It
right?
is, yeah, yeah. This is it. It's having fun. Remember that Mad Hatter drawing that I did that it took me forever to sort of
Yeah.
finish? Yeah, that's fun. That was fun. It was left pending for the longest time.
I don't know if I saw the. I don't know if I saw the finished version of it.
I hold on. Maybe I think I maybe sent it to you
Maybe
on here.
is
I
it?
have it here. Let me show it. Let me show it. I
Yeah.
ended up doing. I ended up doing because what I was trying to do is use these. It was my. I'm not very experienced with markers, and they're very cheap markers. So what I ended up doing was like adding some acrylic washes. It's right here.
That is
Ta-da.
amazing. Oh, I did
Yeah.
see that finish. That
Did
was
right? Yeah.
amazing.
I did finish it, and I ended up softening his face with acrylic washes that were not completely opaque. The eyes are like not very well balanced, but that's because I was like drawing. It was drawing on the go as we were chatting. But I,
But
I critique but I do like the smile more than the eyes because they're a little crooked. I do like the smile.
I actually would say also this is where I'm going to say where some perfections might work to your advantage. It makes them look a little more unhinged. Those eyes
It,
than
it,
where they
it
are.
does look unhinged. Yeah, it does. I
Right,
do
right.
like, yes, it does look unhinged. They do look unsettling. They're like, stop looking at me. But and I was experimenting as we were speaking. I was experimenting mixing because the colors of these markers, they're no Copics. They're super cheap. So they're really blunt. The color is really blunt. There's no nuance to those tones. So
No
like
worries.
they're really dark. Right? You see the color on the tip of the marker, and it sounds like it looks like it's really light, and then you lay it down and it's like a darker tone.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I doing? But yeah, no, I'm happy with. To me, it's as you say, you work on it, and it's like, okay, what's the next drawing? What am I experimenting on next? I will do. What's the name of the Dune boy? The new Dune character. This is what I'm doing. I'm laying
Paul,
down some.
are you doing Paul Atreides?
Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. I did do a couple of yes, Paul Atreides, but Kyle MacLachlan. Oh, well, it's okay, I guess. I did. Ugh, it looks a little. It's a little wonky, but
It's okay. He's got a
it's
puppy face.
it's
Yep.
had a puppy face exactly. Then I did another one. Let me see if I did another one. Then I colored another one from another picture. Let me see if I'm coloring another one. Oh yeah, this one. It's a little better because it's the same face but
Yeah.
different. Yeah, different treatment. So and but I'm happy with it. It's just this is my sketchbook. I'm working on acrylics whenever I can, and this one is just the foundation drawing. So
Ah.
I'll continue it sometime.
No. As for me, well, I'm almost ready to show you I'm almost ready to show you Mr. Jack.
Show me,
Almost.
show me, show me.
Almost. I, Again, I'm trying more complex stuff with my drawings too now. Like for example, I got to put a little bit of this around. And I'm going to do one last little thing here. So I have a theory. We'll see if my theory, see if I'm on something or onto something here. Because I do things like this. So here we go. So what I did, okay. Here, didn't quite get his chin right, but
That's a good one.
yeah,
Very pensive.
yes.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Him in the sunset. I
In
tried
the
to
sun.
make,
Yes.
yeah, him in the sunset, just kind of experimenting with the him just in the sky, which
Yes.
is just sometimes all he's got to be.
That's
And
good. I like it.
yeah, Samurai Jack, ladies and gentlemen.
Samurai Jack. Good job. Good job.
Yes.
He's stern face.
Oh, he always has a stern face. He almost always has a stern face. Next time though, I realized the secret to Jack is his chin. His chin.
Yes. 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 Yes.
His chin is the key. His chin is the key. So did Samurai Jack. I did Booster Gold. Okay, you did Spider-Man. So let's think here. Let's think. How should I close out? This should be my last drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Ooh,
I don't want to do Homelander. He's just too douchey. I don't want to do. I
he gets in there. He gets under the skin.
Well, the thing is, he's a prick on for a lot of different reasons. But
Yeah.
the biggest one is there's not much you can do about him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's not a whole lot you can do about him because he is this monster.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's damaged. He's a damaged guy.
Very damaged.
Very damaged character.
Well, he lived in a bubble his whole life. He's been lied to by the very people that created him.
That created him. Yeah.
So he doesn't have any sense of loyalty, and he kind of lives in a fantasy world. The problem is he's got so much power that he's like, well, if it doesn't work this way, then ooh, almost forgot. I could add. I'm gonna add a little bit more detail to Mr. Jack before I call it a day. There's one thing I forgot to do with him. I'm not going to fix that right now. Not a lot of detail. Not a lot. Just one little thing I could do to make him a little bit more, just slightly more, a little bit more different. Yeah, light. I figured out how to use blue as a trick to make it create a white like effect. Thank you to Bill Moss for teaching me that trick. So
what trick? What trick?
Well, when I'm trying, so I didn't have a white color pencil crayon once upon a time. So I'm like, how do I create a white like a frantic? And then Bill Moss's daughter goes, well, you can use the light blue, just trace it very lightly on a surface.
Good idea.
And it'll create a white like effect. Right? It's blue, it always will look white to the eye.
Yes. Correct. Good idea.
Right? So it's again everything about drawing is layers. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
everything.
There's and depending on what technique you're doing, those are like in watercolor. There's a lot of that you create certain effects by using colors. There's this. You can use uh, um, black or gray to shade, but you can also use color to shade, and it'll be
Yes.
and the shade and the shadow will be much richer when you use color to shade.
Yeah.
So it's a nice trick that
Yeah.
you, if you don't want to dampen the saturation of the colors and gray up everything, then you can always use colors to shade.
Yeah. All right, Miss Elsa. What should I try for the last one?
What do you want?
I'm gonna give it to you.
Options. Give me options.
Let's see. I could try a Street Fighter character.
Oh yeah. Which was your
Okay.
favorite?
Okay, that depends. Once in my competitive days, I was Vega or Ken.
Okay.
Now I enjoy Cammy.
Okay. I love Cammy. I love playing with Cammy. She's just
Cam-
so springy. Yes.
well, no, she's still a good fighter. Like even like no matter how they update the game. So classic Cammy or current Cammy?
Classic Cammy.
Okay.
Classic Cammy.
Okay.
She became my favorite character, Cammy. I'm sorry. I'm making you do my favorite character.
No,
but I want to see your take on her. She's so cool.
no,
She's fun to move around. It's the way I always tend to like the fast characters that jump a lot. I also like Vega as well. I find him very interesting. But Cammy springs a lot, so that's if I'm fighting, I like the swift characters.
but she's also deceptively strong. That's the thing.
She exactly, yeah. She will grab you and what was it her move? I'm gonna
the
forget.
cannon drill, which was
Cannon drill. Yeah, cannon drill. Yeah, I was like hurricane. No. Cannon drill. Yeah, that was amazing. When you land that, it's true. You know.
So my favorite combo with her was medium punch to the head followed by a thrust kick. Because no one expects the thrust kick. Just hits, knocks them down. Right? It's really good. So
She was good. I haven't played in a
let's
long
see.
while. Okay, so
Classic Cammy? All right, I will give her a
Yes.
shot. I make you no promises because
that's fine. Yes.
yes, she
Well-
is, in one hand, very deceptively simple. On the other hand,
Yes. It's a deceptively simple. It's really funny because yes, she's got a little leotard and it should be easy, but there's a lot to her gesture.
it's
that-
it's her
yeah.
facials. It's her facials.
Yes, her facials, and there's also her gestures, and that it's, in my opinion, it makes it rich.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm having so much fun drawing with you. It's been such a
Yes.
long time.
Well, that's sometimes it's like I said, it's why you want to connect with friends. Why you
Yeah.
can't.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I missed the other show that you invited me on, that you had a group of people. I caught something and I'm like, I can't. It's not like I can take an aspirin and come around. I really needed to lay down.
It's okay. Things happen.
Yeah. But I will but I do know by now that instead of like, okay, I'm gonna muscle through things, sometimes there are moments when it's like, no, I can't muscle through this one. I'm just gonna let people down, or it's just gonna be hard. So it's wise to say I can't, even though I felt really bad about it. But I'm like, it's me.
So for me, my whole thing with people is, I'm certainly not above this. Shit happens to us all. That's never.
Yeah. I'm very much like, sometimes people say, hey, you know what, I can't, and I'm like, don't worry. I don't need an explanation because
No.
I
Actually,
know that things happen
actually,
sometimes.
Well, it's not even that. Just I sometimes feel like the explanations are the bigger waste of time than just saying no. No, because here's the thing, right? Like everybody wants to look good sometimes, right?
Mhm.
And I get that. Like you don't ever want to look like the bad guy, but the truth is, right? The truth is, the shit happens, right?
Yes. If anything, life with kids has taught me that it's like, sometimes it's like, it's, you know what, guys, it's not gonna happen today.
Yeah.
And I try to be the person that understands.
Well, again, it's for me. It comes down to this. If you are going to tell me why, how clear are you going to be about it? Right. That's for me. Right. If you're straight with me, I'm not gonna. I'm pretty forgiving. Right. It's when you say nothing,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you try to say I don't have time, shit like that.
yeah,
That annoys me,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's it. I would just rather you don't tell me that than
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. No, no.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like, hey, things got difficult.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah, sure,
kids get sick, you get sick, and
sure. I mean, and again, I'm not saying, and things happen. Like that is
things
part of life,
happen. Mm-hmm.
right? That's part of life. I don't ever get. I'm not. How do I put this? I don't get mad when things happen. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
it's all in how you communicate it, right?
yeah.
And you own it too, right? It's how you own things,
Correct, correct. There was
right?
also one time that Ma was invited me to something, and because sometimes I'm with deadlines and everything. I'm
Sure.
like you don't sleep enough, and that really hits the immune system. So I told her, I'm sorry. I said I was coming, but right now I am
Yeah.
so exhausted and coming down with something that I am not going to be able to join you. I mean,
It
breaking.
happens.
How do you say breaking case of fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that. Okay. I'm playing. I'm going to be doing a second version because she is actually she's harder than she looks. I always work. What I've learned about this is characters who look really simple
Uh
usually
huh.
kick my ass.
Oh
Characters.
yeah, 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 yeah. That happens. Yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree. You
Yeah.
know, there are
Characters.
times when I'm like, this should be simple, and then it's like, well,
Universe, stop laughing at me.
the
Why are you
universe stop laughing. Yeah, it's like
stop
universe is
laughing at me?
having a laugh at you. Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. I was humbled.
Oh yeah.
Humbling moments.
Like this was definitely a humbling moment. Like I can't oh, it's like oh okay I gotta try that again because Miss Cammy is wow,
Mm-hmm.
she's deceptively hard to do, but that's okay.
It's okay.
You learn. Okay,
Yeah.
let's try this.
Huh.
I'm gonna try that pose with her. So folks, yes, I'm putting a little extra effort into this because partially because I'm a big Street Fighter fan,
Yes.
but also because some at this point, while I'm not worried about mistakes, I'm not going to like beat myself up over it.
Mm-hmm.
I have hit the point where it's like I can do better than that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You try again. You try again.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where I'm at, and yes, the thing about Cammy too, like from a personality wise,
Mm-hmm.
she looks a lot more innocent than she actually is.
Yeah, of course.
Right,
Of
right,
course. Yeah.
and that's what makes her intriguing
Yeah.
because she looks like what M Bison wanted her to be, which was a doll,
Yeah. 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 She exactly.
except she's anything but.
Anything but a, yeah.
She's anything but. That's what makes her so interesting. Actually, it's not. It's not that she can't be. Guess there's that. She's got that long walk at the front, and the rest. She's just got like a hat or beret she wears sometimes, and long walk. It's like bang bang. No, it's like I said, and she's cute but devastating. That is literally her in a nutshell. Cute but devastating.
Correct. Correct. Oh, by the way, speaking of video games and storytelling, I ordered Tears of the Kingdom from Legend of Zelda.
See, this is the argument for me getting a Switch. Games like that.
Yes, yeah, I will always get the Nintendo because I want to play the Zelda game.
It-
Sometimes I haven't played, I didn't play them all historically. My brother was the one who used to play them, but then they became, the story became more intricate, and so yeah, I do get the Switch. I do get the Nintendo console to play whatever Zelda is happening,
yep.
and it doesn't
I get you.
disappoint.
I get it. I get it.
It doesn't disappoint, and the part, I'm not a monster fighter. My son kicks butt fighting monsters, uh, but I do love the puzzles,
Yes.
all the puzzles and all the little mini adventures and the mini game. Find the bones of this, find the thing of that, and complete the diary of this and that. I'm not trying to give anything away.
Yeah.
um,
No, I got you. I got you. I got you.
so it's like that's what I love the most. And sometimes I'm sitting watching my son play, and I'm just I'm sitting with him while he plays.
You're like, you're like, you are way better than me, son.
Yeah, oh, he can like kick butt on some monster butt. Honestly, he's a Linnell Slayer or Lionel, because he tells me it's Lionel, mom, and I'm like, well, I like to say Linnell.
And you're like, it's Linnell. Deal with it.
Yeah. To me, it's Linnell. It's gonna be Linnell. Let's not argue about it. It's Linnell. To me, it sounds more dignified like that, but
Yes. And he's like, nah.
yeah,
It's like,
mom, it's Lionel all the time. But yeah, he's really good at doing maneuvers.
yeah, that's cool. And this one's better. Although I still maintain she is harder than she looks.
No, I understand that. I understand that. So many times I'm like, this character, no problem, and then I'm like, oh well, I'm getting not some. I'm not getting it right.
It's like, hey, this looks easy. And you're like,
Yeah.
nope, nope, no, it's not.
No, you're
I
not looking.
well,
It's
no,
like,
it's
no,
well,
no, me, no, with me, it's like you're not looking. You know when you get like when you get a newspaper on the head, it's like you're not looking. That's how I feel that the drawing is. It strikes my head. It's like, oh, I think I get it all good, and then the drawing itself, it starts scolding me.
it's like, how dare you? And you're like, yeah, yeah, I know, I suck. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm humbled. Art is humbling.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And let's see here. And the thing that makes Cammy the most interesting thing about her in some ways is I've never actually done braids before.
You've done what?
I've done braids before.
Oh yeah,
Her
yeah, yeah.
braids are her braids are like some of the most intricate things you'll ever see.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. And I'm just looking at them and going, huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Funny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's the shorthand. There's things that have a certain texture, repetitive texture. Braids, chains. There's those things that it's like, okay, there's how much do you detail and how much do you leave out? How much is silhouette? Braids and chains. Well, I'm always like trying to find a way of simplifying and drawing it.
Well, I actually find when you get to like this kind of stuff, this is why I've learned doing hair. Okay, is that you don't bring all the details in. In fact, you deliberately
Mm-hmm.
keep pieces of it like opaque because what ends up happening is the reader will the person watching your stuff
Mm-hmm.
will fill the gaps for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. There's something about that. Yeah.
so that's how I'm approaching this grade is like I can't take that to the best it deserves. But maybe what I can do is I'm gonna add some, yeah, because she's got like details on top of details on top of details. And I think one of the weirdest mistakes I've just made with her is I put her breast too low on her torso.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something it's like, wow. Then
Then-
I just realized like she doesn't have like that was the thing. She doesn't have like the biggest. She's not Chun Li. Chun Li's got
Oh yeah, she's
Chun Li's just got like
She's more muscular.
Yeah.
Somebody's more muscular. Let me show you what I got. Da-da-da. So what I'm doing right now, I threw in some color on the drawing,
Nice.
and then I want to continue that. So I'm like sketching out where does the hand go. I'm gonna see if I need to revise the position of the arm, and then I'm just gonna continue with a with a layer of this hot pink color to continue the drawing. So, but for
Nice.
the moment, I just wanted to grab her attitude.
And she's got plenty of it.
Yeah, she's got plenty of it. She was my favorite Korra character.
Yeah.
When I met the actress at a party at a crew party at our goodbye party, I told her I love your character. It has such a like a character crush on your character, and and the actress was so gracious. She was like, oh yeah, she was
Well,
amazing.
most of them are crushes on their characters too, a little bit,
Right?
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was something about this character by crush. I mean that she just draws me in. Anything she does is like
Yeah.
This lady can do no wrong.
Well,
This character.
that's sometimes the best. Well, okay, this is okay. So this has got the potential to be the most detailed thing I've ever done.
Let me see.
I'm not done yet. I haven't done.
Oh, oh, oh.
I haven't
Patience,
done.
Daniel-san.
Yeah, no. I'm not there done yet. What I have to do, right? What I have to do
Uh-huh.
to her is because there's a lot of little like her costume is so deceptively intricate. There's lots of
Mm-hmm.
little tricks to it, right? And then there's her lightning bolts on her legs, like that war paint she kind of has on. I kind of think they went to like a more modern look for her to make her easier to draw for her artist.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more traditional. Uh,
Oh,
but
sorry. I told you to draw a intricate one. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's all good. No, classic Cammy has got its appeal. I'm
Yeah.
not.
And I'm like, Josh can take it. Josh can take it.
That's right. I can take it, folks. I'm
You,
crying into my tears over it now. I'm
yeah.
doing
No,
just
we,
fine,
we
folks.
we can take a good study. Yeah. As I say, I get humble all the time.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
and like I said, this is why, like I said, folks, I do this for fun. I don't like this is not. I mean, I may decide to do. I am doing graphic novel-esque stuff for myself. I'll show you some of the other things I've been up to since we last talked.
Yeah.
For example, like I have my Patreon back up.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I just put out a piece of a forthcoming novel up on there.
You impress me so much. I love how you have all these projects. You're very creative and you have an amazing um, sense of story on how to how you are really good at the nuts and bolts on how to tell a story. What will
Yes.
make the parts of the story that are meaty that makes it successful. I remember we were talking once about your Alice in Wonderland.
Greek mythology, yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah, that was so interesting. I'm like I would honestly take your I will take your master class when you have it.
Yeah.
I
Might
will
be a
sign
while
up.
before I get to that point because I got more stories to tell. But yeah,
I'm sure when it's out, I'm signing up for your master class.
on how to tell a story. Well, I'm very,
Hmm.
very flattered at that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm an I feel I'm like sort of a novice on the writer side. So uh, I got some good ideas on how to like grasp maybe the characters, but it has a lot to do with with the visual storytelling and performing of the characters. But I would love to be more well versed in the sense of story writing, at the writing of the story, outlining a story.
Ah, I'll show when we get off the air. I'll show you something. I'll show you something just for shits and giggles on my health.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the part I messed up was her hat. I'll live with that. Her hat kicked my ass. I will take the L willingly. There's now comes the tricky part, which is drawing her in a way that I want Cammy to feel like Cammy. So, folks, this is my first crack at Miss Cammy. Now I'm coloring her up. Kind of trying to see how I did. But she is far and away one of the most intricate um, characters I've ever tried to draw. And that's weird to say because when you look at her, you don't think it when you look at her. You know what I mean? Just don't. But here we are. And here she is. And she's like, okay, this is how you draw me. I'm like, oh, okay. What an experiment. But a good one. Because how else do you grow but other than putting yourself in?
Yeah, and the rare.
You have to put yourself in situations where you may fail. Otherwise, how do you know what you're capable of?
Yes. And it helps you to develop resilience.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see. Next step is all her visible skin, which admittedly with her is a lot. Right? First time I saw her when I played her back in the original game she first showed up in, I gotta admit, 13 years old, she was a bit distracting.
Yes, I know. I know. That leotard.
Yeah, it's leotard. Also the fact that when she originally did her fighting stance, like her boobs would jiggle. Like legit.
Yes. Oh yeah, they do that. Yeah, of course.
It was a little detail they threw in there and was like, well, if you tried to distract me, it kind of worked. Not gonna lie, but I mean, I'm 13. Sometimes some things don't change in some ways, but in other ways, like slightly more sophisticated than that, I think. Twitch sometimes, but yeah, I am. So she is, in one sense, incredibly simple. In one sense. In another sense, she's incredibly hard because there's so many little details to her. And that's what makes her so interesting. Finish the skin there at some point, but I'm going to be doing made a lot of mistakes even on this one, but that's okay. You learn from your mistakes. So, and this one is better than the last one, which is all I really. There was a point like I can do better than that, and so I did do better than that. So almost there. I'll show you in another couple minutes here. I'm just putting all the little I's crossed and T's dotted here because, again, put a lot into her. Even though it may not be perfect, I put an awful lot into her.
Oh no! Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you some my working on this one. So this is one version when I sketched out her legs, but then kind of like she's looking into that. Oh, hold on, let me see. Where's the brush? So she's kind of like facing a little bit over here, and then I'm facing a little bit this way, and then her hips are facing a little bit this way. So then I'm like started exploring, maybe a little bit frontal, and then I think I just had her, facing more completely the whole body facing that way. So oops, I'm sorry, I'm not showing anything. Yeah. So hold on. Oof. I'm not showing anything. So first version, second version, I'm like, I'm not still happy. And I think I'm happy with this third version where the body is facing the same direction. So I'm going to go with this. I'm sorry that I don't have like a camera where I'm showing exactly what I'm doing.
It's all good.
But I'm showing process.
So, all right, I gave it a shot. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
This is my shot.
That's very detailed, amigo. Very detailed. That really has a lot of detail, and I understand that I forgot about the tattoos, or no, it's not tattoos. It's like the camo.
It's like war paint. It's like war paint.
The war paint. Yeah, that was a lot of detail. You did get the torso and the legs, the leg proportions very well.
Yes.
Yes, that's really important because she has like a itty bitty torso that's even shortened more with the high leg, the leg on the of the leotard.
again, it fits her character as a fighter too, because her legs are powerful. Like in the game, they're ridiculously strong. She hits like a Mack truck with her feet, right? So it makes sense that she would do that. Well, that was my first attempt. Technically my second attempt at Cammy. The first attempt was just like, yikes, like that is way more complex than I thought it would be, but in a good way, right? So
It's great. No, it's great. You every time you get the gist of characters, and they're great designs. They're deceivingly simple. They're deceivingly simple lines
oh yes.
that are very well thought.
Oh yeah, very no. They did a good job. They did a really good job putting her to roost, and that's the whole thing, right? Like when you look at like designing characters for television and video games, stuff like that, they have to fit not only their look, their feel. Like the Street Fighter characters, I think were up until the recent Mortal Kombat games. Street Fighter was head and shoulders above Mortal Kombat in terms of character designs. Not because now the more recent Mortal Kombat games have caught up quite a bit. Like you look at Sub-Zero and Scorpion in the current, they are so different characters, and you can tell it with the way they carry themselves, the way they walk, the way they move, right? You can see it. But in the original, but Street Fighter was doing this years ago. So you look at Cammy. Cammy is exactly what she should be as a fighter. She's short, she's super quick, she's deceptively strong for her size, right? And she's explosive, which is what she needs to be devastating, right? So
Correct. Yeah. Cammy is she's like a burst of power.
yeah, that's what she is. And like I said, she's one of my favorite characters in any incarnation of the game, because she's deceptively fun too. Because she's so quick and she does a lot of in and out. Thing is, she can get up close and do devastating damage, or she has a decent what I call mid-range game.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the best reach, and the challenge is you got to get close to your opponent. Which someone like Zangief in the current games, that's a bit of a problem. But she still is always a dangerous fighter, and anyone that uses her and knows what they're doing with her, can kick out, like can go very far with her. Like she's got a lot of talent and skills, and yeah, just in general, just a devastating fighter to use. So I've always been a fan, as you can tell.
Yes. No, she was like my go-to character. I think I learned how to use it well, but it's been a while. But,
yeah, me too. I am good enough that I can be any new person at the game, right? But again, I haven't played the new game the games in such a long time.
Me neither.
Yeah, the game. So when I've played the new versions of these games, some of my old techniques still work, but there's also like a muscle memory aspect to it too. Sometimes I know what to do, but I don't have the timing down anymore to do it.
Yeah. There's games that I think I will never get. I don't think I'll ever be as proficient as I was, but I'm fine with it. I had good fun.
Again, there are bigger things to accomplish in life.
Yes.
But that all said, I'm a big fan of the classic characters. Right, and yeah, I did some really fun stuff. Right, and yeah, no, it's been. I just got a message from a friend. No, like I said, the thing about Calgary for me coming back, like trying to connect with people, has been nigh impossible, right? So I took the advice. So I do. I'm going to pimp my Patreon here real quick here.
Yes.
Right? So I'm going to do that real quick right in this. Hold on a second here. So I have already started what the next show is going to look like here, folks. So I've done 2 episodes are up right now. The third one's going to go up next week. Patreon.com/JustJoshingPodcast. $1 tier gets you my current work in progress. I'm actually doing that. $5 gets you to watch the show. You can watch these shows in advance, and you can actually be part of the process of when I go on the road and things of that nature. So. But the thing is, folks, as far as it goes, if you want to see where I'm at, where the show's going to look like, because the show is directed, written, and produced by me. I'm actually doing all the video work on it as well. I'm taking a camera. I got some really good episodes coming up. So the 5th episode was with Angela Ackerman, who's a pretty successful writer, right? Not so, more for the tools she gives writers. The Emotional Thesaurus is a fantastic piece of work. Anyway, the thing about it is, she gave me this piece of advice. So if there's anyone you want to say something to, you should say it now. Have no regrets with what's left. So I've been quietly just saying goodbye to some people, because at this point, I don't want to see anybody really that I haven't connected with. Not because I don't want to see them, but because at this point, I'd be just seeing them to say goodbye, and I don't want to just do that anymore. So I just quietly just sent them what I would have said to them in person, and it's yeah, because again, in a year I've tried reaching out to a lot of people. It like a lot of people just for whatever reason it didn't happen. So I've just been quietly going to them, thank them for everything, and I love them, wish them well. But yeah, it's just now it's just like I tried, and no regrets. You just got to go forward and go find what is out there for me.
That's
So
good advice.
yeah, that's it. Well, like I said, I tried. That's all you can do at the end of the day, right? With whatever you choose to do in this life, is you try,
Yes.
and that's it. Everything else, it might not work out. You got to kind of accept the fact that it might not work out.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but if you can accept that fact, you can go out there and do some. You can go out there and do some incredible things. And even if you doesn't work out, the one thing you can say is, did I do everything I knew how to do at that time? If the answer is yes, then you did what you were supposed to do. The rest of it doesn't really matter. And it sounds like very Zen-like, but really, all you can
Mm-hmm.
control at the end of the day is you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agree. Agree.
Yeah.
And sometimes the step A will take you to a different B that you maybe were plan. You're working. You get to your plan, and then also it'll take you to new roads that sometimes you didn't even new
Yeah.
possibilities. That's what I can. I'm sorry. I'm adding into your. I'm very inspired by by this journey that you're planning.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
I'm very inspired by this journey, so I think you're gonna do great things, and then everything is going to you're gonna do a fantastic. It's gonna be plans and discoveries of things that you can do about finding. Well, you have a pretty good voice when it comes down to talking. We've discussed this. You're a great interviewer. You know really well how to speak and how to talk to people. But I think that this will take you into newer heights.
No, I think so too. I think the big thing about this is like this is like a two-pronged journey,
Mhm.
right? The business part, like the strictly business part,
Mhm.
I get to meet all the connections I've made over the years in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
In person. That's huge. That is genuinely huge,
Hmm.
right? So, um,
You've had some really good conversations with people. I
yeah,
enjoy your shows.
yeah. So it's one of those things where I just realize like you make an impact on people,
Hmm.
and this is why and that's I mean, okay, strictly business, I've made a lot of good connections. Not so strictly business, I've made an impression on people, and
Hmm.
that cannot be underestimated. And that's why you need to go out into the world,
Hmm.
because that is when you make the biggest impact on people, is when you go out there and you reach out, because that speaks volumes about who you are, and
Hmm.
people will respond to that accordingly.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I love this idea of your journey, your future journey. You're gonna.
This is I've jokingly said this is my greatest midlife crisis ever.
No, I love
No, 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 no,
it.
no, no.
Yeah, that's funny. You're so funny.
Yeah, because well, here's the thing, right? If you look at it from the way it used to traditionally be, I am so far off the beaten path, it's not even funny. On the other hand, okay, like this is something like that really struck with me. Okay, you are an incredibly successful animator. Like background, like whatever the official job title is, you're very successful. You're working for big companies. You're always in demand.
Thank you.
Right. And here's the thing: you actually have gone out of your way to talk to me, and that's cool. There's not a lot of people like again. I get the impression you're a very friendly person, but I also get the impression that your time, as you so eloquently put it, your time is valuable. You wouldn't do this for just anybody.
Yeah. I trust our friendship and our conversations, and I know
Yeah,
that. And
yeah. So
you're so good at you. There's this respect and natural curiosity.
yeah, and that's what we have in common. That
Yes,
all
we
said,
do.
that all said, I will one day send you that full pitch, because if you never know, right? I've learned one of the other things I've learned in the last, and this is a great way to wrap things up. I think
Yes.
you never know where things lead you. But going back to what we were talking about, success and failures, some of my
Hmm.
biggest failures have led to my best successes.
Hmm.
Right. Right. It's the way it goes. Like you don't you learn. I think this is the weird thing for me. I've hit this weird point in my freelancing career. I've started to make money at will. And what I mean by that is I can get work a lot more easier now than I used to. Most of my income now comes from me, not from any like job per se. Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
That's cool.
very commendable.
Yeah, it's not a living wage yet. I mean, that's it's not quite a living wage, but it's not small either, right? And I realized the secret to that was it's the whole mindset you put yourself into. It really is like there's no other real secret to the success, but to learn get yourself into that position, you have to put yourself out there. You have to go through the ups and downs. You have to
Hmm.
fail. You have to go through all the hardships and struggles. And I mean, you get breaks along the way, sure, but I mean, but the secret is after everything that stands, can you be confident in who you are and what you stand for? If the answer is yes, then eventually, then the world can't break you. It can bend
Hmm.
you. You might have to pivot. You might have to change, but it won't break you. It won't stop you, right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
that's the real secret. At the end of the day, I wish it was something like more noble or mystical or magical because it would be
I
faster.
don't think it needs to be. I think more than more than impressive sounding, I think it needs to be more objective.
Hmm.
That's how I see things. It's like it doesn't need to be like, oh, like there's a harp in the back. I think it needs to be objective and truthful. There are times that also we've met it, like you're working late, I'm working late, and we meet on Messenger. And there are moments when you have asked me, are you having fun with it, but in the way that is it fulfilling? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's one of the most important things. Are you being fulfilled, or is this something that's fulfilling?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
whatever endeavor that you're doing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. If not, go back to the drawing board and see what
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like,
reframe. Reframe what you're doing in your objectives. And yeah, I mean, what I do fulfills me very much. So it's I'm stumbling with words because I'm trying to because the camera is right here.
it's okay. But that's what you don't. Again, it's not. So do you want? I'll give you the best storytelling advice right now. Something I've learned. Okay, this is gonna sound. Think about this. The words don't matter, and what I mean by that is it's not what we bring to the table as creatives is ourselves.
Mhm.
So the real secret isn't the right word. I mean, techniques, craft, these are things we all need to work on for sure. But at the end of the day, it's not really about the techniques. It's about what you care about. So the fact of the matter is, like, and going back to like that imperfections of things, it's the imperfections sometimes highlight things better than a perfect thing would, because it's realer. Like we all have this sense of like when something, if it's too perfect, it looks fake. It feels fake, right? But when you're, even if you're stumbling sometimes with your words, you genuinely care about things, and that's what the important thing. And that genuine care, the thing that those genuine feelings in that moment, they carry on. I've joked about this on a few podcasts. I became a Taylor Swift fan about a year ago,
Mhm.
right? I became a Swiftie. I'm okay to acknowledge this little truth, but I asked myself why, and the reason, because again, if you really sit there, love songs are the most, like, they're everywhere on the radio, on shows, things of that nature, right? As she's secretly grabbing something, I don't know, but right,
Oh,
but
me?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
my son gave me a note, so it's like I was like, wait, I'm still talking. Yeah,
yeah.
he gave me a heart. Yeah.
Aw, aw. How is he the 8 or the 10 year old?
8. My boy is the 8, the 8
Okay.
year.
Yeah, okay. He's still, yeah, he'll always have a little bit of that in him. I get old, like, Mom, I'm too old for that. No, no, he's not. Yeah, right. And he'll never be too old for that. But going back to what I'm saying, you look at, there's Taylor Swift, there's Ariana Grande, there's Avril Lavigne, there's I always put Nicki Minaj, there's Miley Cyrus, there's all these people here at the very top of this chain of the very specific kind of
Yeah.
song,
Yes.
right? And
These
I'm like,
creatives. Yes.
yeah, but they're, again, they're using a form. They're somewhat formulaic, but
Yeah.
but at the same time, why does their music stand out? And the reason why I feel like gravitate towards Swift is not because over the others. And again, some knock to the others. I do like Levine too, but Levine, there's a. I'll tell you that story when we get up, when we wrap up. But it's more along the lines of the fact that there's something incredibly genuine in Swift's lyrics and her, like, whatever she brings to it. Yes, there's earworms or stuff like that too, but whatever she personally brings with it, it
Yeah.
carries through her music.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when she writes her songs, when she puts her stuff together, by the way, this is true of any genre, any music, anything. It's when they get out of their heads and accept their hearts and go
Mhm.
out there and just be that.
Mhm.
That is when your art sings. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter if it's the written word. It doesn't matter if it's animation. It doesn't matter. Like, okay, even
Music.
okay,
I mean, performing. My brother's a drummer, so it's
yeah,
it's his instrument.
yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't matter. But what matters is, it's like, this is the part of me when I play this song that I can put myself into. And you can tell when an art, if you're really good at your craft, you can tell when an artist doesn't care the way they should about the song.
Mhm.
Right? You can hear it in how they play it. It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, but you can tell when there's an emotional checkout,
Mhm.
right? All right. And if you feel the emotional checkout, the story's done. You should walk away with that author. But on the same time, the 5-year-old with the stick figure drawings, okay, we can't do that. And the
No.
reason has
Yeah.
nothing. Then the reason has nothing to do with the technique. It's everything to do with the emotion the child brings that we cannot.
Yeah. 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 You're completely correct. You're completely correct. There's
Right?
something about those stick figures that have that raw innocence.
Yeah. So in one sense, this go back to now just writing. The words don't matter. And there's gonna be some writers that'll listen to this and go, "What the hell do you mean?" It's like, they don't matter, not in the way you think they matter.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
right,
agree.
right. It's the story you're telling and how you're telling it, and why you. Again, it has to be a perfect storm, I think. But it's the story you're telling, how you want to tell it, and why you care about it so much.
Hmm. Hmm.
If
Why
you
it
don't
has to
have
be
those,
told.
yeah, that if you don't have those, it's done.
Hmm. Hmm. And it's very hard to, yeah, it's that's the level that is sometimes hard to achieve when you know it's like this. Oops, sorry, that's a text. Um,
Love your text sound. That's an
Yes,
awesome sound effect.
that's the text. Yeah, the robot sound. Yeah, it's as simple as that and as complicated as that. It's like, have you achieved the importance? Do you? in the way that whenever I'm doing, does my composition really convey the urgency that that the scene requires? It's
Yes.
not just the acting of the characters, but are you like moving or not moving the camera in a way that it actually it's worth for people to be looking at the scene.
Do you feel it? That's the other thing. Do you
Mhm.
feel
Are
it?
you adding? Do you feel the intensity that, or the lack of intensity, or the passivity, or are you conveying it? And it's like a it's it's a journey. It's trial and error where you finesse all these instincts.
Yeah. Well, I think one of my favorite. Okay, this is gonna age me, ladies and gentlemen, folks. Bugs Bunny.
Oh,
Okay,
love bugs.
love Bugs. Do you know my favorite moment with him is when the bad guy's threatening him.
Really?
Because he's so calm. He's just listening to them. He's
Yeah.
just politely hearing them out, and it's like, okay, Mac, what's your story? Like he's trying to understand what's going on
Hmm.
exactly, right? Now he's already decided he's going to mess this guy up, but he hasn't. But again, he wants. There's this calm. Okay, this is a problem. How do I deal with it? And it's whether it's Elmer Fudd, Wile E. Coyote, or some random bad guy that Bugs beat the crap out of for 8 minutes straight. It doesn't matter, right? Um, he very rarely loses his cool, and
No, yeah.
he very rarely does truly lose it. But once he loses it, all right, you can tell. Once he loses it, he loses his shit. My they did a Red Riding. This is an oldie. Like when they did the Bugs' retelling of Red Riding Hood.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
that's an oldie. Red Riding Hood was just obnoxiously annoying to such an extent that both the wolf and Bugs did not want her in there at all, right? And because every time they were about to do some of the action, you hear "Hey, Grandma," right, in the most annoying like sounding voice ever, and
Trying
and, and then finally it gets to the point where the wolf is the old feather trick where the wolf's carrying everything to avoid being singed, and the last feather was going to fall. Well,
Yes, yes, yes.
Bugs is about to do that when Red Riding Hood shows up and just does that again. He's had enough. He goes, I'm gonna hate myself in the morning doing it. So you don't see how he does it. You don't see how he does it. Right. All of a sudden the scene shifts. And it's Red Riding Hood Carol holding everything up, but trying not to fall into whatever's falling into. And the wolf and Bugs Bunny are just looking at each other so satisfied. And it's just like, yeah, I'm with you too, right? But that's the thing. Like when he loses his shit, he loses his shit. But for the most
Yeah,
part, he's super calm. He's
yeah,
collected.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yes,
He never lets his emotions get in the way of solving whatever problems he
getting the upper hand of the situation, and
yeah,
getting and hitting the edge of the other character so that he loses
that's right.
his
That's
marbles.
because he understands. Again, that's why when you first hear him show up, when you first, whoever he fights, that bad guy usually gets a minute. Sometimes the bad guy even gets the upper hand on him in one moment, right? Bugs is vindictive. That's the other thing about him. He's a little
Yeah, yeah,
vindictive.
I like him when he's like that. Actually, I mean,
Yeah.
the my favorite episode was the one with the many hats, the truck that crashed with the many hats, and
Oh
they were getting
yes.
all the hats. So it's like, I am Morelli. I told you, Morelli. So that's my favorite one, because
So
he still kept his upper hand, even though whenever they were getting the different hats. That was a
yeah,
good one.
he just went with it.
Yeah, he has one with it. The other guy was, Elmer was having a hard time, but he just embodied.
Absolutely, absolutely. Miss Elsa, I think we've had a great conversation here. What do
We
you think?
had an amazing conversation. I love it. So
Yes.
it's so good that we touch base.
So this is so okay. You can't talk about what you're working on now. So that's
Hmm.
out. That's out. Okay, is there anything that came out recently you can mention here?
Well, I think that the movies that I was working on, the DC movies that I worked, the let me see. Oops, sorry.
That's okay.
And that's an alarm, folks. Sencha is my alarm. Um, right now, my daughter is at a rehearsal because she's rehearsing for a show for a contemporary. So I will have to pick her up soon. But hold on one second.
No worries.
There's a series of of DC movies that I was working on that are that straight to video for the home video department of of Warner Brothers. I'm just gonna check the title because I was working with temporary titles. But let me see. Da-da-da. There's the titles. Mm-hmm. So, well, there's the last movies that I worked on were, oops, not this one. Cancel, close, just close. There were, wait, there's the Green Lantern movie that came out, we made in 2020.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't actually, you know what? I don't know what the title because we have just provisional. The Justice Society, World War II, Batman, Soul of the Dragon. That was the last movies that I worked. And there's a Supergirl movie also. Supergirl?
Supergirl was the last one you did?
I think it's the last one I did before I moved on from Warner Brothers. And those were the last things that I did. Those are very fun movies produced by Warner Brothers. Yeah, I had a lot of fun working on that in the home video department of Warner Brothers.
So
It's I recommend all their movies. They're very well produced.
People will say a lot about DC's like live action, but no one says anything bad about their animated.
No, the animation one, yeah, the animation.
Yeah,
one.
no one says anything bad about the animated. So let's see, Supergirl. So Supergirl was your last one.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me open it up. Warner Brothers. What would it be?
Is it the Legion of Superheroes movie? Did you do that one?
Yes, that one. Yes, that's it. Are you looking at it?
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to right now. Yeah. Hold on. It is. Hold on here. So you did, if I'm not mistaken.
Of Legion of Superheroes.
You just did the Legion of Superheroes movie with Kara's Supergirl.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
the last one.
That was my last one. That was my last one. Legion of Superheroes. I'm always like very hesitant because I knew that one was out already, but I'm always very hesitant to give out titles because I never know when they're scheduled to be released. But yeah, that was my last movie, Legion of Superheroes. That was a very fun one.
Yeah, that came out just earlier this year. So folks, if you want to catch any of her latest work, check out Legion of Superheroes right now, available wherever DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever the hell they're called sold, or you can stream it on a variety of streams as well. Elsa and many others worked on it, so definitely check that out.
Check that out. Yeah, produced by Butch Lukic, directed by Jeff Wamster. That was I enjoyed so much working on the movies for the direct video or the whole video department of DC. They were always I don't know. I didn't want to leave.
No, but that's a good way to walk in it. And it sounds like who knows, maybe down the road the opportunity will come to do it again.
Yeah, I'd love to. It's a pleasure to be able to work with friends on the projects that are fulfilling. So that's all I can say.
That's all.
Another text.
Another text. So we're at this. Is there anywhere people can find you personally if they want to get them?
For the moment, LinkedIn. My name is Elsa. Wow. Okay. Can you tomorrow? I have an event with my boys, so a friend is asking me if I can bring a chair for her.
No, it's okay. It's important stuff, folks.
Important stuff. Yeah, it's almost end of school year for my boy. Last day of school is Thursday, so tomorrow there's an event. So yes, I'll bring her chair. I
found you. I think I found you.
I'm on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's an old picture. It's a very. Oh my god. And okay. You know what? I gotta go pick up my girl. No, she already texted me.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just doing this real quick. Go find her here, folks. You want to actually get her for work, and outside of that, except
I don't have that. Yeah. I don't have that much right now. That's LinkedIn is the most I check, but I'm not right now yet a super social media person. So LinkedIn, I'll check you guys out. You know, anybody who wants to say something and drop and say hi and connect, I'll I'd love to form new connections with artists.
All
And
right,
non-artists.
let's wrap this up. All right, folks, check out my Patreon again if you want to check out my Patreon. I do an advertising business. We can talk about that another day. For everybody watching, everybody listening, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.